everyone, and welcome back to Latinx Montessori. My name is Leslie. I am a Montessori certified guide, and I'm also a mom to a 13-month-old. And you can always find me sharing all about my Montessori journey at home with a big family emphasis on my Instagram. And today I want to talk a little bit about the Montessori philosophy, what is it, and how you can start implementing it at home. And so Dr. Maria Montessori believed that education begins at birth. And guess what? Who are the ones that are with the child from birth? Us, the parents, the adults, the caregivers, the family members. And this is one of the many reasons why the Montessori philosophy can be applied to our households, and a big reason why this Montessori education truly does work even outside of the classroom. In the Montessori community, there tends to be a big emphasis on the prepared environment, the Montessori wooden toys, and while all of that is important, it is critical, and I'm going to share more on those topics here on my channel. It's really important that we take a step back and really go back to the essence of the Montessori philosophy, and that is the Montessori principles. So before we can prepare our child's environments, before we have the beautiful Montessori toys, it's important that we understand the whys so that we can then implement the hows. When we understand the why of the Montessori principles, the why of the Montessori philosophy, then we are going to have an open heart, an open understanding on how to implement it at home, and it won't become something that is just out of our reach or something that is very overwhelming. So when we talk about the Montessori principles, the very first thing to recognize is that Dr. Montessori believed that it is important that we see the whole child. When, as parents, we are trying to provide them with activities and with toys, it's important that we consider the child's whole self, that we consider their cognitive needs, their physical needs, and their inner needs. Recognizing the whole child is the number one principle that Dr. Maria Montessori identified. Now, there is so much more to say about recognizing and respecting the whole child, and so I will create a whole video just on this topic. So for now, let's go ahead and look at some principles that you can start incorporating in your house today. Now, respect for the child truly just is a human right. Respecting that they have their own needs, respecting that they have their own wants. And so when it comes to a young child, how can we respect them? Dr. Maria Montessori identified that the number one way that we can respect the child is by following their lead. She said, follow the child. Now, let's quickly look at the newborn stage. When a child is born, the best way to follow their lead is by simply following their cues. They're crying. What do they need? Are they hungry? Do they need a diaper change? We follow those cues. If you're presenting your child with a toy and your child is throwing it off to the side and doesn't care for it, then follow their lead and put that toy away and bring out something that they are interested in. Do you go into a place and your child is just so stimulated that they start to cry, and maybe that unravels into what we perceive as a tantrum? Well, let's follow their lead, and their behavior is communicating something. Is this overwhelming? Let's move away to a quiet spot. Is this too loud? Let's move away into a place where it isn't too loud. And so those are just some really short and simple examples on how you can follow your child's lead. Now, this Montessori principle is critical because this is the foundation that is going to lead them to have independence, that's going to lead them to gain confidence in doing the things that they love and enjoy. Now let's go ahead and take a look at another Montessori principle that you can start incorporating in your home today. Dr. Maria Montessori recognized that during the first 3 years of life, when the brain is developed by 80%, they are in this unconscious state of mind where they are just taking everything in without them even trying. They're just soaking it up. It's all coming to them. And so this is the time where they develop lots of their gross motor skills. They learn how to crawl, they learn how to walk, but they also learn how to mimic everything that you do. And that is because they're watching you. They're taking it in. So how are you going about your day? How are you communicating with others? How are you communicating with your child? Take that into consideration. This Montessori principle of the absorbent mind is so critical because everything that we're doing, our actions, the way that we react to things, they're all taking it in. And so with that in the back of your head, you can take this principle and apply it at home by just simply being aware that your actions, the way you speak, the way you do things has such a huge impact in your child. Okay, so now you have two simple Montessori principles that you can take and you can digest, and you can think about how you can start incorporating those within yourself, first of all, so that you can start setting up this foundation of the Montessori philosophy at home. So I hope you enjoyed this short video. You can find me on Instagram, and of course, subscribe to the channel for much more Montessori content. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you soon.